Hey, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter, and I want to go through and share with you 9 questions, 9 things that you need to look at when you're evaluating a new customer. Now, the more complex you have, what you sell, the more critical these 9 are. The deeper you are into B2B, the more critical they are. Now, they still apply to simplistic sales and B2C, but you're going to find a tremendous amount of connection if you're B2B, and especially if you're in a more complex. Let's go through them. What's the specific issue the customer needs help with? In other words, do we really know what the specific issue the customer needs help with? And how do we know this? Have we seen similar issues with other companies in the same space? Because customer may share with us what's their specific issue. But if we haven't seen it in other companies in their industry, in their space, I got a question. Is it valid? Is it real? It may very well be. But I want to make sure that what I'm going after to help you solve is truly the problem. Number 2, how interested is the customer in our potential solution? What specifically have they said that validates their interest? Now stop and think about this. What specifically have they said? In other words, they're interested in our potential, but are they interested in our potential only because they really want to know what's going on in the industry, or they're looking at something else, they want something to compare it to? In other words, I got to hear comments where they say they like our potential solution, kind of what, the business that we're in, and how it can fit in their world. Number 3, what are the customer strategic objectives for the next several years? And how does our solution help them with those objectives? In other words, I want to be able to go down the calendar. I want to be able to look 2-3 years out. And what are the customer strategic objectives? See, if you're selling a complex solution that's going to be in place for 5 to 10 years, you better know this. It's not just what their environment is today. It's what their environment's going to be 2, 3, 4 years from now. Absolutely critical. Number 4, who are the competitors we could be dealing with? And what are their strengths and weaknesses? Again, the bigger the sale, the more likely there are going to be other competitors talking to the customer. The customer is going to not just say, gee, we want to buy from you because we like you. We want to look at some others, especially if there's a procurement department involved, purchasing agents. So who are the other competitors? What are their strengths and weaknesses? Because that's going to help us shape our value proposition. Number 5, what are the time issues the customer is facing that could speed or delay them making a decision? In other words, is there fiscal year coming up? Is there budgeting concerns? Are there other priorities that are occupying their time? Are there other things happening? In other words, this is so critical for us to understand, what are the issues the customer's facing? And how could that speed up or delay a decision? Number 6, do we know with certainty how they make decisions and what their buying process looks like? That's why I love to ask the question early on. Hey, how have you gone through the process of making decisions like this in the past? Or what's the process you use to make decisions on big purchases like this? I want to ask a question like that, something similar to that. You phrase it in your own words, but I want to ask that very early on. Why? Because I want to understand if there's some hoops we got to go through, should we get down to the end, that we know what those hoops are. We know what their purchasing department expects. We know what their finance department and all these other pieces, because there could be all kinds of different hoops that we have to go through. We better be prepared. Yeah. Number 7, who are the people in the company who are working with us or against us? What's our strategy for dealing with each one? You see, in almost any complex sale, there are going to be people in the company who are working with us. In other words, they want us. They want us in. But there are also going to be probably people who are working against us because they want a competitor, or they want status quo, or they want to go in a different direction. I better understand and find out who these people are and know and have a strategy for dealing with each one. Because, the ones who are working against us, their heads they will rise up at the end. They can shoot your deal down. I've seen this happen time and time again. And if I'm prepared, I know how to handle it. If I'm not prepared, I don't know. Number 8, is their business and operating process one we can support both initially and long term? This is very critical if what you sell is a service that requires ongoing support, ongoing things. So, I got to understand what's their business and operating process. Can we support initially? Is this product or service that they're going to buy from us going to be primarily used in South America where we have no representation? Is this going to be used primarily in a certain area of business that we need certification for to be able to get in, or security clearances, or whatever it might be? Or maybe they just have a business operating philosophy that doesn't line up with ours long term. Got to know that. Number 9, what is the long-term potential the customer offers us? Both upsell and referrals. Okay? In other words, hey, what's the long-term potential? In other words, am I going to get just one sale off of this? Or am I going to get one sale and additional sales? And along with additional sales, they're undoubtedly going to hopefully take us into other divisions, other operating companies, because they're part of a larger holding company. What about referrals? There's referrals that they can provide us. I want to look at that. This is really going lifetime value to the full extent. But that's going to help me determine how much time and effort I want to spend in terms of trying to get this deal. Hey, my name's Mark Hunter, the Sales Center. What do I walk you through? I walked through with you 9 questions to help you evaluate a new customer. Need help with some of those answers? Reach out, call me, email me. Go to my website, thesalescenter.com. Let's talk, because this is what I focus on. My name's Mark Hunter, the Sales Center. Great selling.